In this video, we will show you how to replace your coolant temp sensor on this Dodge Ram 1500 with a 5.2 liter engine. This will be located along the top of your engine just behind your alternator. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. As you make your way over towards the passenger side of the radiator, that's where you're going to find your radiator cap. We're going to open this up, but it's important to note hand and eye protection at all times and never open your cooling system when it's hot. To open this, let's go ahead and press it down and turn it counterclockwise, a quick inspection and set it aside. Now we're going to make our way towards the driver's side of the radiator. In between the washer fluid reservoir and the battery, if you were to make your way down in this corner, you're going to find your radiator drain plug. Let's make sure we have a collection receptacle under this area so we can recycle the fluid properly. Just make your way right down through here. Now that the coolant is finished draining, we'll make our way back down to that drain plug and close it off. On the driver's side of the engine compartment, we're going to locate the battery and disconnect the negative battery terminal. To disconnect the negative battery terminal, we'll be focusing on the 13mm nut. For this, you need to only loosen it enough that you can take hold of the terminal end, give it a wiggle, and remove it from the battery. A quick inspection of the terminal end to confirm it's still in good, usable condition. This looks fine, we'll set it aside. To gain access to the coolant temp sensor, we're going to remove the air filter housing from along the top of the engine. To be able to do that, there's going to be a few things that we'll pay attention to. On the passenger side of the air filter housing, we have the air inlet, which makes its way from the fender to the air filter housing. We can go ahead and slide that out of position. Just go ahead and take hold of that, slide it off of there, a quick inspection, and we'll set it aside. Now along the top of the air filter housing, on the driver's side, you have a breather hose here. Go ahead and slide that right off of there. Quick inspection, make sure it's soft and pliable, not torn, worn, or damaged. Now let's follow that air filter housing down along the bottom area along the back side, and that's where you're going to find an 8mm headed clamp holding the air filter housing to your throttle body. We can go ahead and loosen this just enough that we can remove the air filter housing from the engine. Just give that a little wiggle. Now there is one locating point up along the front here. For this, it's actually just a small stud. We just want to lift the rubber mount up and out of position. There we are. A quick inspection of that, we'll set it aside. Now with the air filter housing out of the way, we're going to lift up on this coolant tube, and if you were to look just behind the alternator here, I can see a little bit of green. That's actually corrosion, which is on the coolant temp sensor. We're replacing it anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But as far as the wiring along the top there, typically you can just reach right down along the back side of the alternator and gently tug up on that wiring harness. We don't want to break anything, because we will be reusing the wiring, obviously. Once you have it off of there, a quick inspection for corrosion, and we can temporarily set that aside. Now continuing on to that coolant temp sensor. Now at this point, we're going to make our way along the back side of the alternator with a 13mm socket to remove the coolant temp sensor, but you need to make sure that you definitely disconnected the negative battery terminal so you do not ground out against any of the power terminals along the back side here. Just press that on there as far as possible. There it is, friend. Now with that out of there, before we install our brand new one, we want to make sure we clean up the mounting point. I'm just going to use a long scraper for this. We'll carefully start moving things out and away from the hole, just pushing them away and cleaning up the area. Still see a little piece right there. Oh yeah. That looks good. Okay, now it's time to install our brand new coolant temp sensor. When installing this, let's start by carefully sliding it into our deep 13mm socket. Just go ahead and press it right in there. Once you have it bottomed out inside the socket, we're going to continue on with installing it into the vehicle's intake. Just slide that hose out of the way as necessary here. Make our way all the way down. You never want to use an impact tool when installing or removing these. You could cause damage. We're just going to go ahead and start this in by hand. We'll bottom it out and then torque it to 8 foot-pounds. Now, if you find you're having a hard time getting this on with the socket, you could carefully try reaching behind this area. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but it is something you could do if necessary. Now we'll snug this up and then torque it to 8 foot-pounds. Okay, I'm going to switch my ratchet to my torque wrench now, 8 foot-pounds. Now that I have that torqued, let's go ahead and reconnect our connector. There is no orientation for this. You essentially just want to align it and press it down and in. Double check, make sure it's properly secured. Press that all the way on there. And give that a little wiggle. That feels good. It's time to continue on to installing the air intake system. When doing this, there's a couple things that we want to pay attention to. On the throttle body itself, we can see this flat base. We want to make sure we have the air filter housing pressed down as flat and level on this as possible. We'll make sure the clamp makes its way around the bottom side of the throttle body and above the top of that air filter housing. As we're setting that down into position, one more thing we want to pay attention to is this small stud on this bracket right here. That's for the rubber grommet that's located on the bottom of your air filter housing. Let's start getting this in position. Now you need to pay close attention along the backside here where this connects onto the throttle body. If the clamp is off kilter, or even the air filter housing's off kilter, it's not going to be seated properly and you're going to have dirty air making its way into the engine, which could be catastrophic. Once you have that tightened with your 8mm headed socket, go ahead and give it a little tug. We want to make sure it's properly secured and a quick inspection all the way around, just confirming that it is properly seated. Continuing on, we have our vent tube here. Just go ahead and press that up on there. Double check, make sure that's secured in place. Continue on the other side. Let's get the air inlet tube on there. Let's reconnect the negative battery terminal. Before we do so, we want to make sure we clean the terminal end on the battery itself and the end on the cable. Just using a battery terminal cleaner here. Now we'll be using our brush on the inside of this. This will make sure that we have great contact to that battery. Let's go ahead and press this all the way down there as far as possible. Continuing with our 13mm, we're going to tighten that mounting nut. Give that a wiggle, confirming it's properly secured in place. Now let's move along the passenger side top of the radiator. Right where the radiator cap should be is where we're going to fill our cooling system. It's common for people to have one of these funnels. You can easily just push this into position, find the right adapter that fits on top of the radiator. Now once you have that in place and it's secure, you'd want to continue on with some brand new coolant. We're going to start filling up the coolant system through this area. What you'll do is you'll continue topping it off until it stops wanting to make its way down and it's sitting right about here. After that, go ahead and start up the vehicle, let it run for a short while and get up to normal operating temperature. While this is happening, you're going to find that a whole bunch more air bubbles make their way up and through here and coolant will make its way down and into the system. So continue topping it off. Now, once you've run it to the point that there's heat coming out of the vents, your thermostat should be opened up. At that point, the coolant started flowing through the system. You just want to go ahead and check this one last time, and then you can turn off your vehicle and replace your radiator cap. Now we're adding the manufacturer's specified coolant. Okay, I finished running the vehicle. We finished removing any air from in the system. We can remove that funnel system. Remove the adapter. Now I'm going to install my radiator cap. The radiator cap that I have has a release valve, so I have that in the upright position. Otherwise, if you don't have a release valve, you don't have to worry about that. We'll just continue on to aligning this with the radiator. We're going to turn it clockwise, locking it in. since I do have the release valve, I'm just going to put that in now. Okay, friend, we finished our installation. The next thing that you need to do is go ahead and run the vehicle, make sure you have heat coming out of the vents, and check for coolant leaks. Aside from that, go ahead and close the hood and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.